What up? It's your boy Wall Street Hit My Line, and I'm back hitting your line because that's what I do. And today I want to talk about the Brandon Ingram trade as he is moving to Canada, Toronto to be exact, because the Pelicans have said no more, Brandon, no more. And he has been shipped out in a trade that will bring Bruce Brown Jr. and Kelly Olynyk back to New Orleans, along with a 2026 first-round pick, which originally belonged to the Indiana Pacers, as well as a second-round pick. So, decent haul for the Pelicans, I'm not going to lie. I think getting a first-round pick for Brandon Ingram was a must for them, and they achieved that. And Bruce Brown Jr., I think, is a good player. He just hasn't really played a bunch thus far this season. He's only played 18 games this season. So he's been in and out of the lineup. But Bruce Brown Jr. to me is a guy that can kind of operate similar to Josh Hart. Like, he just goes after loose balls, gets a lot of rebounds for his position. He's only 6'4", but he can play the 1, the 2, the 3. He can play the 4 if you really need him to. So he's very versatile. He's 28 years old. He played a big role in that Nuggets championship team in 2023. So he still has a lot of, game left to give, I think. And New Orleans needs everything they can get. So getting him back in the trade, I think, is decent. Kelly Olynyk is a little bit older. Kelly Olynyk is nearly 34 years old. He's going to be 34 by the time the season ends. So he's a solid player. He's a stretch 4, stretch 5, if you will, and he's shooting 44% from 3. So he's only taken, 1.8 threes a game, but that's because he's only playing 60 minutes. He's only played 24 games this season, starting just 2 of them. So career 10-point per game scorer, very solid, 12-year NBA vet. So I think it's a good pickup. The Pelicans are clearly kind of in a somewhat rebuilding position. Obviously, now that they've traded Brandon Ingram, that's even more of a reality. So I do think this is just the best thing for both teams. I'm kind of confused, what the Raptors are doing, though, because I was kind of okay, they're, trying to rebuild, clearly. And they're obviously not going to make the playoffs this year. They're just not really doing that well, sitting out of the play-in, and I don't really see them making it in there. But, anything can happen. Anything can happen, but they're currently 16-35 on the season. That's good enough for 13th in the Eastern Conference. So the 10th seed right now is the Bulls. They're at 22-30. So the Raptors are 5.5 games back of that spot. So it's unlikely that they're going to get there. Brandon Ingram certainly will help them, but I don't really know what they're going for, to be completely honest. I think they see a lot of Pascal Siakam in Brandon Ingram, so maybe they're trying to replicate that. Who knows? But, this was an interesting trade. I wasn't expecting him to go to the Pelicans. And honestly, it's funny because I feel like last year it was all about when's Zach LaVine going to get traded? When's Brandon Ingram going to get traded? These were the 2 names that everyone was they have to get traded. And it finally happened, just days apart from each other, but, a whole year later. So I like the move. I think it's good for Brandon Ingram. I think he's a pretty interesting player to watch. So I'm happy that he's just going to be in a new jersey, in a new fit. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. I think the Pelicans getting back a 2026 first-round pick is super important. Obviously, if they wind up dealing Zion Williamson, maybe in the offseason, then they're going to have, probably more draft capital come back in that trade. So just, stockpile the picks. That's what, bad teams should be doing, right? The Wizards are kind of doing the same thing, getting rid of older guys, bringing in young talent, and unproven talent, So draft picks are simply that. They're unproven talent because they're players that have not been selected yet into the NBA. And the more of that you can get, I do think, the young guys in the league really do come in with a fire if they're, really challenged, and I think the Wizards are showing that. So I think the Pelicans just keep accumulating draft capital and doing what you have to do. I think you also need to focus on veteran leadership, bring in Bruce Brown, who's won a championship, bring in Kelly Olynyk, who's a 12-year NBA vet. It's just, those are good things to do. And who knows, maybe they'll wind up like waiving them or something. Wizards did that to Reggie Jackson the other day. I was like excited because I thought Reggie Jackson would be a great vet to have on the bench, and then they just like immediately waive him. It's right after I posted the video about the trade too. So wild stuff. But Brandon Ingram is now a member of the Toronto Raptors. It's going to be an interesting rest of the season. Lots of new faces and new places. And yeah, it's going to be nice. He's averaging pretty good numbers on the season so far, just hasn't played a lot of games. He's averaging 22.2 points per game. Averaging nearly 4 turnovers, though, so that's a career high. 5.2 assists, 5.6 rebounds. He is shooting 46.5% from the field and 37.4% from three-point range, taking a career high in three-point attempts per game at 6.4, playing 33.1 minutes per game. So looking forward to seeing Brandon Ingram in a Raptors jersey. Going to be very exciting, fun to watch. Looking forward to the rest of the season. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think of this trade? If you're a Pelicans fan, please leave some comments. If you're a Raptors fan, please leave some comments. I want to know. Let's talk. If you guys are not already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate you doing that. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. Without further ado, I will catch you guys later. Stay safe. Have some fun. Enjoy the rest of your morning, day, afternoon, evening, what have you, yada yada, whoop-de-whoop. And I'll catch you guys soon. Handle business, stand on business. Peace.